Nowhere along the foothills of the Himalayas is there a more beautiful setting than the river valleys and forests of Kumaon. Here the law of the jungle prevails, a law that is older and better than man-made laws. Dangers there are, but they only add to the zest of life and take nothing from the joy of living.
Have you seen anything?
हाँ साहब, शेर का पंजा देखा वहाँ पर बहुत बड़ा साहब। जिंदगी में पहली बार देखा जी इतना बड़ा पंजा।
अच्छा।
अच्छा साहब, सलाम।
To many, the jungles pose an imaginary threat. But to me, they are places of friendship and beauty. In nature, there is no sorrow and no repining. If the necessity arose, you could live on the jungles, enter into the lives of all the jungle species.
Hey, where's Kansama? Huh? Yeah. Ah, Kansama. I have this tomorrow evening. See you then. Hello, Sada. Hello, Maggie.
Jim, dear.
Where are you off to?
I'm going with Audrey to meet the DC's wife.
Ah, which Audrey?
Audrey Clay, the judge's daughter. Do I look awful?
You look very nice. If you sit with your boots hidden.
I don't think I can go.
Of course you can. Mrs. Vivian won't eat you.
You wouldn't come with me, would you?
Oh, no, thank you. I think I ought to go out to Armour Lodge, see how they're getting on. The Finlays move in next month. Oh, I gave Kansama a jungle fowl for our supper tomorrow evening.
Oh, good. Did you see anything interesting?
Yes. I saw the government runner from Ramnagar.
Do you have any news?
Yes, he's seen the biggest pug marks he'd ever known, Tiger. I expect he's an old friend. One of these days, I'll get a shot at it.
In 1929, my brother Jim was over 50 and known in our part of India just as a shikari, a big game tracker. He had not published his ideas then. Thank you so much. We're not in a swim, I'm afraid. The houses belong to our mother. She and our stepsister used to see to the letting of them, but since she died, there's only me to help my brother with everything.
Ah, Audrey, my dear, there you are.
Oh, isn't it hot? Nora, this is Miss Corbett.
Miss Corbett. Come in, please, won't you?
Nainital is the summer seat of the government of the United Provinces. It nestles round a lake of little more than 2 miles in circumference.
Come on. Come on, Robbie.
North of the town are a number of parallel ridges with villages dotted here and there. Beyond these again are more ridges, dwarfed into insignificance by the mighty mass of the Himalayas that watch over my life. It was Fred Champion's book, With a Camera in Tigerland, that prompted me into taking pictures of Kumar and of animals in the wild.
Have you lived out here long, Miss Corbett?
Oh, we were born here. Our father was the postmaster, and my brother is on the municipal board.
Really?
Captain Corbett built the bandstand by the lake.
And he protects the lake from overfishing and sees that people don't cut down the trees. He'd like to see Nainital a bird sanctuary.
The birds do pretty well here as it is. I intend painting some of them, Miss Corbett. Do you or your brother paint?
Oh, I'm afraid not.
Pity.
My brother does a little photography, mainly in the jungle.
And he's a dead shot. He hunts man-eaters.
That's a risky business.
My brother doesn't take risks, Mrs. Vivian. He understands the animals. He shot his first leopard when he was 9.
From my earliest days, I have known the villagers who, with infinite labor, make and farm these fields along the hills. These people who live in the heart of the wild country are my friends. And the forest officers who work here are good enough to give me the freedom of those forests.
Hello, Robin.
Sir,
Yes.
a man was shooting near here yesterday. It was late, dusk even. He heard an animal and fired. It rushed past him into the bushes. This morning he went with others looking, but they couldn't find it. Only blood smears. They found some hairs.
Shankar has them now.
Well. They are tiger hairs. I know this tiger, Robin. He was born in this ravine. Several years ago, he got a buckshot wound in the left foreshoulder and leg. You see how the pug turns in. He's never done anyone any harm. He's a big fellow, though. After the wound, he came down into the village and slept all night in an empty go-down. Then he went into those hills over there, started killing cattle. We haven't seen him for the last year or two. I thought perhaps he might have changed his territory.
Well, he's back now. Do we follow him?
It depends on how much he's hurt. Maybe nothing. If it's more serious, he may come back into the village to lie up. And then God knows.
He's not a man-eater.
Yet, as far as we know. Still, I think I must finish him. My gun. Might make a good trophy. Now, you take Hood Sahib and Moti back with you.
Ji, Sahib.
And keep together.
Are you quite sure?
Yes, thank you.
Bars. Take care.
Thank you, Maggie. It's a fine tiger, big one. 10 foot and 3 inches over the curves. When I was skinning him, I found the pig hunter's wound. A very small one, only a scratch, really. I thought he might be serious, make him a danger in the village. As it is, I've taken his life for nothing.
He might have taken yours. I always worry.
He's not, chap. Army? Nah, only a wartime commission. He's a box swallow, really, rents houses. Doesn't do too badly. He was a great buddy of Percy Wyndham, my predecessor as DC.
Oh, really?
They used to go hunting together. Well, that's a tiger they shot.
He's a big fellow?
Yes. Jim Corbett knows more about jungles than most.
Is he domiciled?
Oh, yes. And speaks a bit cheechy. He lives with his sister, a very churchy and possessive lady, according to my wife. Carpet Saab, they call him.
Oh, I see.
Is as British as the flag. Some quaint ideas, though.
Since childhood, Jim has spent all his free days in the forests. Before he was old enough to have a gun, he used a catapult or a bow and arrow. Although he still hunts, it's nature itself that gives him pleasure, and he enjoys observing the animals in their natural haunts. He seldom mentions the danger he runs when encountering the great beasts, whose strength and courage he respects.
Tigers fear no one and hunt by day. I have been watching this particular tiger since he was a cub. Sitting up over a kill and seeing him warily retrieve it, I haven't the heart to shoot him.
You come and sit down, please. Animals in their natural environment don't kill wantonly. Only we do that. Could someone switch the light off, please? You'll have joy all around you. You recognize the birds and animals by their calls. When I was your age, I used to mimic most of the jungle creatures. Using my ears has often helped me as a hunter. Now, a leopard calls like this. And if you answer his call, he'll come to find you. Now, a chital deer barks like this when a leopard is around. A warning to the herd. Langur chatters like this. Peafowl calls to a tiger. Now, I am a tiger, calling to a tigress in the mating season across the hills. Mr. Corbett, for Mr. Vivian, please.
Yes, Billy.
Ah, Jim. Decent of you to spare the time. We better comply with the formalities. Come along in. What'll you drink?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Excuse me, Ken. Won't be a moment, old boy. Let's sit over here. I've had a communication from Harry Higgs, ADC. The governor would like to come up here for a bit of sport.
What kind of sport?
He has in mind an elephant drive, apparently. I thought down in the Barber, where your bungalow is. There's plenty of game down there, isn't there?
Not as much as there was. As long as it's not in the close season.
I wanted to ask, would you organize it?
I remember one organized shoot.
And?
I was with 3 army officers on a duck shoot. We put up an enormous number of waterfowl, literally thousands of them. And then they started to shoot and went on, killing and killing, until they had shot over 300 of them. More than they could take away. It sickened me.
Oh, this will be entirely different, old boy. I might bring my wife with me. We're both fairish shots. She knows the form.
It is an honor, Jim. A governor's shoot. You said yes, I hope.
I told Vivian I'd do it.
Robin, get down. Is there some difficulty?
No, not really.
What is it?
These big shoots, elephants, scores of beaters. It's just a massacre, really. Stalking an animal is one thing. On equal terms with it. One false move and you're lost. But these big drives, sitting up safely on the back of an elephant, 20, 30 guns or more, and the game's driven towards you. Half the time the animals are only wounded and they crawl away in misery to die or become a menace.
How long have you felt like that?
I remember when the old king came out. They had a big shoot for him. Killed 20 tiger, rhino, bear, and so on. And I thought then, it's against nature, Maggie.
Then why did you agree? You don't have to do it.
Well, they'll have the shoot anyway. Least I can see it's done right and they kill things properly. But I won't let them beat areas where there's forest tiger. They can kill cattle tiger if they want to.
Where's he going to be?
Down in Caladungi. I'm going to try this out.
A new camera?
A present from an old hunting friend. He takes moving pictures, Maggie.
Oh, no, I look terrible.
It's all right, it's not loaded. Obviously, the film goes in here.
Jim, dear, not now.
Why not?
It's after 10 o'clock and you're tired. It's time for bed.
Whatever you say. We can have film shows, Maggie.
Won't it be expensive, all the film? Shall I read prayers or will you?
It's your turn, I think. We'll have to see.
O God, from whom all holy desires... O God, from whom all holy desires, all good counsels, and all just works do proceed, give unto thy servant that peace which the world cannot give. Every year, at the beginning of the cold season, we move down to our bungalow near the village of Choti Halwani.
Young man, cheer up, we'll soon be there.
Jim bought the village of Choti Halwani in 1915. The place was practically derelict, but he has set to work to remedy this, enclosing the village little by little with a masonry wall. He himself helps with clearing and irrigating the land. He has new houses built and old ones renovated. And gradually, the village is developing into one of the best in this part of the country.
Corbett Sahab, I need some new chana. Grass is not growing in my field.
That's because of the lantana, Ram Singh. Burn the lantana and the grass will grow. You want some matches? I brought some new seed, good seed, barley. That's for everybody, you understand?
Oh, yes, sir, for everybody.
Choti Halwani has been our second home since we were children. We've always felt part of the village and close to our neighboring families, particularly Jim, who prefers to sleep in a tent in the garden.
Ah, Bahadur.
What is that?
It's a cinematograph camera. What is the news?
What is cinematograph?
It's like the cinema.
It will take moving pictures?
Yes. What is the news? What has been happening here this past month?
Everything is very quiet, Corbett Sahab. All as usual, peaceful, hard work. But your old friend Kumar Singh is dying.
Of what?
Well, you know, he has been taking opium. As you sow, so shall you reap.
He used to be the best poacher in the forest. When I was a boy, living here, he taught me all about the jungle. He should live to a good old age, not be put out to die. Jaldi. What's all this superstitious rubbish going on here? They're Bhagavan, hey? I won't have it. Come in, sir.
He's thinking his father will die tonight.
Nonsense. Nonsense.
चलो भागो यहाँ से सांप तो बहुत गुस्से में लगते हैं।
What are they doing to him? Get these people out, Bahadur. Bring me 2 seers of warm milk. Come on, chalo. No, make these people go home, Bahadur. Quickly now, ciao. Gently, my old friend. Don't worry. I'm here now. Be quiet. Make those people go home, Bahadur. Oh. Times have changed, Uncle. So have you. There was a time when no man would have dared take you from your home to die like a beggar. But you wouldn't listen to our warning. And now the vile drug has brought you to this. But you're not going to die, my old friend. You're going to live for many years. But first, you're going to promise on the head of your son that you'll never more touch the filthy drug. And this time you're going to keep your promise. Or not come to save you again. Huh? Now, while we wait for the warm milk, you smoke.
How can dying man smoke cigarette, Corbett, sir?
There'll be no more talk of dying, because you're not going to. That's why we'll smoke. Pour some in there. Right. Your father is better. You stay with him all night. Let nobody else in. Every time he wakes, you give him some more warm milk. Someday. Now, you must sleep, Uncle. Shut. Fresh air in the forest. I'll come back tomorrow. If I find him dead, I'll burn down the village. I remember showing Gunwar Singh my first old gun when I was a boy. He said, "Now you are a man. With that gun, you can go into the jungle and never be afraid. Provided you know how to climb trees." He taught me that too.
I don't think Kumar Singh will touch opium again.
I think all sportsmen who have had the opportunity of shooting with a camera and shooting with a rifle will agree that the difference is as great as between taking a fish on light tackle in a snow-swollen mountain stream and killing one in a pond. Fishing for mahseer in a well-stocked sub-montane river is, in my opinion, the most fascinating of all field sports. The river I have recently been fishing in flows through a beautifully wooded valley, well-stocked with game and teeming with bird life. My happiness, I believe, results from the fact that all wildlife is happy in its natural surroundings. For me, taking a picture gives far more pleasure than acquiring a trophy. Long after trophies have been consigned to the dustbin, the records made by a camera remain.
Jim never takes a gun out when he's filming. He only kills nowadays to protect the village crops, or for the pot, though he's still making arrangements for the governor's shoot.
I shall need 2 shooting blocks in your forest, Robin.
You can have the Chori. No one shot there for some time.
The old Boar River block, that has some good cover in it. It'll have to be a big bandobast. I shall want 40 or 50 beaters each day and some forage for the elephants.
When is Governor Saab coming?
2 weeks. We've a lot to do.
Now we need 4 cups, Kamsala, and plates for the cakes. Right. Oh, and don't forget to put the second batch in later.
हाँ मैम साहब.
Where will you want machans and flags?
And I'll deal with the flags later. I think machans in trees here, here, and here. Then we can control the beat properly.
You think it may be dangerous?
With the tigers?
Well, isn't that the point?
We'll not kill prime animals, Robin. Or tigresses with cubs. There have to be limits.
Yes, of course. But...
Robin, will you have some tea?
Well, that would be very nice.
Right here, Mr. Bahadur.
Thank you. And cakes. Maggie's famous for her cakes. Do have one, Bahadur.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Why should you worry about tigers, Corbett sahab? There are more of them than there used to be.
No, Bahadur. There are not more tigers. They come round because tree felling has robbed them of their natural hunting grounds. When I first came to Choti Halwani, the village was surrounded by tree jungle and grass, virgin bush which supported all kinds of creatures. What do government do instead of preserving it?
They regulate development, reasonably and very carefully.
They issue gun licenses. So, everybody stops being squeamish about taking life. They start shooting deer, sell them for a few rupees in the markets. They are robbing the leopard and the tiger of their natural food.
They have to live, Captain Corbett.
Let live. Isn't that the Hindu philosophy? Yet men from these villages sit in trees over water, wait for the animals to come and drink, and slaughter them indiscriminately.
But you can't blame the villagers for...
Then whom shall we blame? In the end, it's they who suffer. When there are no more deer, when the jungle is cut down, animals like leopards and tigers come down into the fields and start killing cattle, and that leads to open warfare between the villagers and them. The balance of nature is destroyed, and the people lose their natural inheritance.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Is it?
Maharajas and white sahabs also hunt game, if I may say so. Even you, Captain Corbett.
I don't know what all the fuss is about. However many tigers are shot, more come in from Nepal. They keep the population young. What do you think, Maggie?
I agree with my brother. I can't believe it's God's will that we should kill his creatures.
I shall take this.
Peter, round that tree, Geldy. Keller, couple of dozen. Round the tree. Drive them this way. Geldy, Keller. Keller!
Ladies and gentlemen, would you care to select your elephant?
Nietzsche! Everything all right, Governor?
Excellent. Going very well. Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you, sir. Nietzsche!
Bring it forward. Forward.
Turn. Nietzsche! Nietzsche!
Well done.
Check the film, that's all you did. Watch out for anything else in here. Not moving.
That was marvellous, Captain Corbett. You ought to show it at Government House. Father would love to see it.
Would he?
Don't think my brother has time for cinema shows. These are scientific records.
All the same, people would like to see.
It's all right, Audrey. I can do this.
I could ask the Vivians.
Why?
Well, I think the more people see it, the better they'll understand the jungle. Of course, I'd want to get some tiger on film first. I stalked through many hundreds of miles of tiger country. And though I saw tigers on possibly 200 occasions, I didn't succeed in getting one satisfactory moving picture. Finally, I decided to draw the tigers to me, laying down bait to bring them gradually to the jungle studio I prepared. I chose a ravine with a tiny stream running through it and built a hide about 8 feet from the ground and made small waterfalls to deaden the sound of my camera. The whole proceeding took about 4.5 months with many setbacks and disappointments. But I got 600 feet of film, of which I am inordinately proud. Eventually, I got 7 tigers to the exact spot where I wanted them. One of them left, but not before I had taken a picture of her. The rest I kept together. A living record of 6 full-grown tigers, one of them a white tigress, filmed in daylight at ranges between 10 and 60 feet. Although they sometimes heard the camera, during the countless hours I lay there, not one of the tigers ever saw me. Thank you. Thank you very much. There is one other thing I'd like to say about this experiment. This is that the camera does not take life. At the moment, we are ridding our forest of tiger and other animals at an alarming, not to say sickening rate. Now, I know sportsmen are conservative, and as each individual has his own point of view, I do not flatter myself that all my opinions will meet with universal agreement. There is one point, however, which I'm convinced all sportsmen, whether their viewpoint is from a platform in a tree, the back of an elephant, or their own feet, will agree with me. And that is that the tiger is a large, hearty gentleman with boundless courage. And when he is exterminated, as exterminated he will be, unless the public rallies to his support, India will be the poorer for having lost the finest of her fauna. If we do not bestir ourselves now, all of us, it will be to our discredit that the fauna of this province will have been exterminated in our own generation, under our very eyes, while we looked on and never raised a finger to prevent it. Thank you.